welcome to another video. Okay, this video is all about editing to soundtrack, or cutting to soundtrack, or edit to the beat. It will depend on the sound that you are editing to. You often see it in music videos, and therefore the beat that is being edited to will be music. And that is often the case in television and film drama, where the beat will be edited to for some sort of rhythm or tension or drama, often leading to a climax of some sort, particularly in a chase sequence. Edgar Wright does it very well in his films, in particular in reference to comedy and how certain sounds can be edited to certain things that we see in a particular way that might make the film a little bit more humorous. There is quite a good video on YouTube that I would like you to watch. I'll play a little extract of it now.
But what you have to take in consideration is that almost everything you see on the screen was cut to the beat and directed that way. And yes, you could take the very obvious examples where he clearly plays with the music in the background, and the ones where he makes jokes with the lyrics. But the real treat comes when he uses sounds in favor of movement. Quite often you can see people walking to the beat and jamming on it.
So I would encourage you to watch the rest of that video. It's quite interesting, quite clever how the techniques have been reverse engineered and deconstructed, and Edgar Wright, as I've said, is quite famous for doing that in his films. But perhaps the thing that you're most familiar with when it comes to editing to the beat is the traditional blockbuster movie, the Michael Bay editing style, where something happens on some sort of noise. We are not editing a trailer, but that's not to say a chase sequence couldn't still borrow from this editing technique. So again, I have a parody video to show you.
Have you ever wondered about this particular thing? Because it turns out that that thing is real. That thing I referred to earlier? Well, it's happening, and it will destroy us all. Someone has to stop this thing. And that someone is you.
So that particular bit where the parody video is referring to the fact that there was shot 1, shot 2, shot 3, shot 4, and they came after another very quickly, but they also visually cut on a noise, some sort of beat, some sort of drum noise, and that is perhaps a technique you might want to take advantage of in the Netflix original dramas, in particular reference to maybe a chase sequence or a reveal of some sort. So I'll show you in Premiere Pro how best to do that. So I have downloaded some copyright music with some sort of tension noises, and I've got that in the Premiere Pro project already. So in terms of, I'm going to need to listen to this. In terms of editing in Premiere Pro, you are going to need to find a way to align visually the clip with the noise. Actually, if you zoom in close enough on a song, you will start to notice that the beats are represented by a particular wave. So if we to play that back and kind of look at this bit while the blue bar gets to it, you'll notice that visually that's where the noises are. Okay. What we need to do then is to create some sort of indicator that that is actually where we need to make a cut. Okay, so for example, if I was to put some clips in, so let's grab some of these over here, I'm going to want to know exactly where I need to put them. So for example, if I click on my track and use this little marker tool here and click it, you'll notice it puts a little green marker on the audio track. If I was to go through and listen to my track and be very pedantic and particular about where I was putting those, so I've done a couple there already. That one, that one, that one, and that one. And now if I was to put a clip in, you see how it wants to snap in line with the marker. So I can perhaps do something like that and play this back. Okay, so I missed that last one. And that second clip is the same clip, so let's just drag something else in instead. This might look a little bit better. So there you go. So you've got these clips coming in on a beat of some sort. Don't be afraid of the black gap. In fact, if anything, the black gap increased the tension. So don't be afraid to include that. And these are random clips, if I'm honest, but that worked quite well. You've got the indication that something has happened or is about to happen to the individual who has been kidnapped. Okay, so there's one way of doing it. The other way of doing it is, depending on where the beats in your track are, perhaps if it were at the end, you might want to use that as an opportunity for your titles to appear on the beat. So for example, if I was to put my logo in place and have titles instead of clips, then I could have something like this. Okay, so there's a few things to this technique. First, you need to find a good cinematic song, a song that has moments where you can edit to beats, drums, heartbeats perhaps. You could edit to a heartbeat, and then you need to import it into Premiere Pro and get your markers correct. That might be trial and error. You might need to do that a few times, and the best way to do it is to just play your song a few times, listen to it, be familiar with where the beats are, and then put your markers in by clicking that as the clip's playing. Once the markers are in, it should just be a case of finding the clip you want and aligning it. You see how it wants to snap. It's highlighting a marker that it wants to be close to. And then it's just a case of working out what it is that you want to see at that point. Also, manipulating the duration. This last instance, I had the title go from one title to the next. So the distance between one marker and the next is the entire distance of the title. But as you saw previously, some of the clips came in, lasted for a couple of seconds, went to black, then something else came in on the next beat, and that's also an option. Okay, so there you go, editing to soundtrack or cutting to soundtrack or editing to the beat. 3 different words, 3 different phrases for the same thing. It is a very particular technique to get right, but it really works when you do it correctly, and it's very impactful and very dramatic, and audiences do recognize it, but they are so immersed in it that they appreciate it for what it is. At the same time, we will have appreciated how long it would have took to get that perfectly correct. Okay, so it is a technique I would probably expect to see to increase tension and drama in your sequences. Okay, thank you for watching. See you in the next video.